typical first-round game. I might have been a little tight early. I think you got to credit Notre Dame. They defended us pretty good. They hit some shots early, give us a good tough battle. I think eventually our press started to wear on them just a little bit. Caused some turnovers. We got some baskets in transition, and these two right here played their typical, usually A game, and thankfully, we survive and we move on.
Question.
Mikey and Austin both can answer this. You guys were here a year ago, won at AA, now you're down. It seemed like early you maybe were a little bit too excited about being out there, and once you got focused, it seemed like you were able to get control of the game on it.
Yeah, dropping down from AA to single A and being the defending AA state champions, it just puts a bigger target on your back, being the #1 seed, and people's going to come out and give you their best shot, night in and night out, and that's what Notre Dame done. You got to give them credit; they stuck around, hung in there. They was fighting, battling on the boards, playing good, solid defense. But yeah, we was excited to come out of the gate, but we eventually settled down, got in a rhythm.
Just having two guys that know each other so well, just that court presence and awareness for each other. How big of a benefit is that? Not many teams have two guys.
No, well, I've got three. I got Aaron Muncie, along with
Got in foul trouble.
thing 1, thing 2, and thing 3. They come to play. They have had a lot of big game experience. You're right. They make me look good. They've been through so many fights and battles before. They know when to step up, and I'm thankful. Blessed to have all three of them.
Mike, you took 2 charges tonight. You didn't flop. They're legitimate. Congratulations. But talk about how the art of taking the charge that you guys practice a game day in, day out, that Coach Thompson has you on the floor more than anybody.
Yeah, our first day of practice, we're on the floor more than we see a basketball. But yeah, I see plays happen before they happen. Actually, like Coach preaches to us. There's 3 things he'll take us out for: not closing out on a shot, not cutting the baseline off, and what was the other one?
Not boxing out.
Not boxing out on the
Not boxing out on the
offside.
offside. But yeah, I seen the kid driving baseline, and nobody was going to slide down to help, so I didn't want him mad at me, so I went over to cut it off, and I didn't flop on that one either. I legitimately took that one.
Austin, you had 10 assists. Do you try to get your team into the flow of things? As Mikey shakes his head, I know you give him some easy shots.
Yeah, I like to try. I like to try to get my team involved first, because once I drive and kick out and get some open shots, once I drive, they start to kick out and try to defend, and that gets me open layups. So once I get into my flow, and I usually do what I want. I can usually go down and score. I can just dish it. I don't know. I've just been passing the ball really well this year. Just something I've always been able to do, and that's what's helping us win, I think.
Coach, coming out in the second half and going to 2-2-1, and you all were able to get that 21-0 run on. Maybe just talk a little bit about that change.
Yeah. I didn't know it was 21-0. I knew it was causing them a little bit of problems.
It was a 21-0 run.
Yeah, that 21-0 run. That,
there you go. We were
basically,
rolling.
Yeah, that seals a game. Sometimes a lot of what we're a pressing basketball team. If it's not a diamond or a 2-2-1, it's some type of half court. That's what we do. We try to establish a defensive intensity, pressure, constant pressure on the ball. The kids like to play that way. But you're right. The press was good. I thought it was effective, and that pushed it out there. It was 11-point lead at half, and then we had an excellent third quarter, and yes.
You got a little bit of foul trouble early there, but you've got your 6th man. Hayden started.
Yeah.
Come in and did another good job.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw that Hayden come in. Aaron got in foul trouble, and I started to put him back in, but just with the lead, I wanted to be a little bit cautious. Just usually if they get 2 fouls, I try to hold them out. But also Austin Bayston come in there, and I think he only played 7-8 minutes, but he had 5 or 6 points. So our bench was very productive. Hayden, he's when he comes into the game, it allows us to press even more because we're a little bit quicker, and our defensive intensity picks up. We can run and jump. We can play more man But yeah, Hayden and Austin both come in there and did a fine job for us.
Talk about Thomas Bates and that 5 of 7 from the floor, 10 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, just a typical Thomas, solid player. 10 points, 5 rebounds is about his average. Wished the foul shots. I think he was about 0 for 3 from the foul line. He took a big charge again on the baseline down there. He gives us everything he's got. He's going to battle. He's going to fight. That's just his nature. Without him, I don't know where he'd be. He stepped up early this year. He's earned the right to start, and I'm happy for all the success that he has.